I'm here for DustCS's ongoing coverage of IEM Cologne 2023, and I'm here with Afro coming off of fnatic's win over 9. So I wanted to ask you first, as a player who's been dominant in Tier 2, and now you're moving up into sort of the Tier 1 team, how does it feel to make the main stage of IEM Cologne?
Actually, it feels so nice. Like, I'm really happy about what we managed to do today. I'm also even more happy that, we did not have to go to the last match tomorrow and having a lot of pressure. So that's done. We can have a chill day tomorrow and then just reset and get ready for the main stage.
And, keeping sort of that in mind that you've advanced to the main stage outright, it's something very odd we're not used to with Colognes in the sense that you're only going to be one of like maybe three or four French players in the entirety of the main stage, and which is something we've really never seen before. It's only happened very recently where we don't have a full, French lineup anymore. So does that add some sort of extra weight on your shoulders in terms of, sort of carrying the banner of the French CS alongside, Ziwu and AWPer?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to Ziwu, we will always have at least one player at the very top. But yeah, it's like the French scene is dying a bit. So we want to make the France shine as much as we can. And if we need to get in international teams to do it, then let's go. But yeah, even Falcons, did you see the roster that changed? Mm-hmm. So, it's like this. We have to do with it.
And, speaking of that, your previous team before going to fnatic was LDLC, and which is such a huge, storied French esports brand and huge French CS brand, and they've completely, ceased esports operations in CS. And we've seen either orgs, in France fold or orgs like Falcons, like you said, go to international rosters. What's going on? Can you sort of give us an idea of what's going on in the French scene right now? Like, what's the issue that's causing almost seemingly a complete collapse of the French sub-top?
I think it was always the real issue in France that we didn't have any org that could pay people in the lower tier of playing. We had LDLC, we had some, but not as much as for example Denmark had or Sweden. So it was really hard for French people to make it through, and I think it's really weird because French French company don't want to get close to the terrorism or something, they don't want to touch it just like that. So they don't want to give money to a game that could, fuck up their image or something. Yeah. So I think that's the main reason is that, tier 3, tier 2 players didn't have any really plan to have a salary. When we were with Double Pony, and now there is the team looking for my former teammates that are still looking for a team. They're kind of good, a rising tier 2 team, but they don't have any org because I don't know. I think if that team was Danish, then they would have an org. Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. And so, sort of keeping that in mind, the state of the French scene, LDLC goes out of business, and you had to, look internationally and end up with fnatic. Was that a move that was, landing on fnatic? Was that an opportunistic move, or was it sort of a necessary move? Do you think you could have continued playing if you didn't go international?
You mean going still playing in French team?
So if you didn't say, okay, I need to go play in an English-speaking team, do you think you could have, really kept your career realistically going?
I think if I wouldn't have the opportunity to get on the fnatic, I would try to get another international team because I had some offers from lower tier teams, but that were really good actually, Uprising team, and but yeah, fnatic came and it was the normal choice. I couldn't say no, but yeah, I think I would not play in the French scene anymore because at the time, if one player is getting picked, then you're fucked because no one can replace him. So that's it.
Oh, with that in mind too, a big struggle for French players moving into English-speaking teams has been sort of learning to be able to speak English at a competitive level. Especially, for example, AWPer has sort of made that known. Existence never played on an English-speaking team because he was never comfortable. What has it been like for you to sort of overcome that language barrier?
I think it's weird, but I'm not the the worst English speaker of French scene, I'd say. So it was fine. I still had 1 or 2 weeks that were like really hard for me. Like sometimes I was holding a line and I wasn't able to talk at any point because I was full focused on the game. But I guess that now I'm kind of comfortable with speaking English in game and also outside the game, because outside the game is also really important to be able to speak with like your teammates, and your teammates you want to become friends with, so you have to speak properly.
And with you now working in English too, you have a completely different IGL, who doesn't play anything like French CS. What has it been like working, with Dexter as the new IGL of your team?
So yeah, it's really different. But I mean that back in the days I was playing with Bodhi as a leader, and that was, I won't say that was the same, but that was like a bit close to it. We were trying to find this type of gameplay. So I had like kind of already an idea what I was supposed to do in such a team, and also Dexter is like giving me a lot of freedom, and I want to thank him for that, because it's really insane to have such a freedom when you are like a upcomer. I didn't have any real success or anything. I mean, I was just destroying tier 3 teams, and that's it. So, but me and Dexter are really like, we are working together to make me like comfortable with what I'm doing, and I also don't want to cross the line and go too far. So sometimes I'm just asking him if I can. I can't. Like, I'm just trying to make it good for everyone.
And so, looking towards the future, like you said, you used to dominate at the tier 2 level, especially, in the French scene and sort of at like the CCT level, at the, ESL level. Do you think Fnatic sort of has the tools to take it to the next level and become the tier 1, AWPer that you're sort of looking to become?
I think that I'm like a different AWPer than other players, so I think I can become like one of the really best AWPer of the world. If not, I won't be here. I mean, if not, I would just like go on a normal job, because if I'm playing, it's for like going the further I can. So, but I think I can, but it will take a bit of time for me to get completely like comfortable with playing such teams, such tournaments, everything. Like, for example, today I was a bit stressed. It's like kind of normal. You have to accept it, and you have to tell it to other people too, for them not to be like, I don't know, surprised of what you're doing. So, but I'm sure that I will go better and better. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you in the Cathedral 2 days from now.
Thank you.
Cheers.